So we're going to be reading Slaughter, part 3 of Mama Nightmare's book. I have no idea what I read in, and I'm tired because I just went to town for a friend's birthday. It's the one I was cosplaying with on the cosplay videos I did. So, let's start reading. Trigger, blood and gore. You've been warned. Because I'm not editing this. After the whole episode, Dust passed out. Killer refused to leave his side either. So Nightmare put Dust in his room whilst Killer stood guard by his bed. Nightmare had to get medic for Dust now. Dust is also around 12, 13. Just a year older than Killer, but to have something like that at such a young age, Nightmare didn't like it. And he doubted the people who looked after Dust did anything to help him. He told Killer he was going out so the little bean wouldn't freak out when he realised Nightmare was gone. Okay, Mama, Killer smiled. Nightmare chuckled. He's going to call me that now, isn't he? He left the mansion and went to the best clack in the town. Nightmare knew enough to know what kind of medic to get for Dust. He walked into the clinic and people moved out of his way immediately. His aura and presence always scared people, and he liked that. He went to the counter and asked for anti-tumor and anti-psychopathic. When they asked why he needed them, Nightmare just smirked and made the negativity around them more intense and made the guy start to shake. I don't think you need to know, he smirked. And he left without paying. I mean, if you're that scared, do you really need to pay? I don't think so. Oop. Yeah, sorry, that was just bugging me. Up. Back home. I'm just gonna go check something. I'll be back in a bit. Bye-bye. Okay, I think we can continue. Just we'll listen to see if my parents were coming upstairs. They didn't, so I will continue reading. When he returned to the mansion, Killer and Dust were talking in their now shared room. Dust, he called. Dust and Killer both looked up and saw Nightmare standing by the door. They both ran up to him. Are you both okay? He asked. They both nodded. Where did you go? Dust asked. Nightmare picked the two up. I went to get something for you, Dust. It will help with what just happened, he said. Dust looked down guilty. I'm sorry, he said. Again. Killer hit his head. Don't say sorry. You are scared. No need to apologize, he scolded. Nightmare chuckles. What he said is the truth, Dust. You don't need to be sorry. We understand. Killer nodded, smiling. Dust started to tear up again, and he hugged both of them. Thank you. So, what will help Dust? Killer asked, wiping his tears and Dust's. Nightmare took out pills. You have to take these every morning, okay? With water. Try not to forget, okay? Dust nodded and Killer nodded and did a salute. I will help him, Mama, he said. Nightmare laughed again but didn't tell Killer anything. He put them both down. Now, let's have some lunch. Yay! This hurts my voice every time. I think doing these are the most I talk in bloody months. In a bloody month. Oh well. Let's continue. And since then, everything has been fine. Now that Killer felt more at home, he was louder. He and Killer would run around the mansion playing all types of games, cooking and reading as well. Dust would still talk to himself now and then, but was okay nonetheless. He was also quiet, not really shy, just didn't talk to him. Sometimes he would be just as loud as Killer. And Nightmare was strangely okay with two kids in his life. He has lived for centuries, and this was a nice change. He just hoped his world wouldn't be about him. I'm not going to say that swear word. I'm not going to say a swear word. You guys can read. I hope so. I hope you can read. If you can't, then sorry. Not really though. Nightmare was in one of the many sitting rooms that was in the mansion. When he heard two pair of footsteps running past, he heard the two giggling as they did. Nightmare smiled to himself. Yes, this was a good change. A little while later, after they had dinner, and the two went to bed. They shared a bedroom now. It was adorable. Nightmare went for a walk. Nightmare walked in the cold night, enjoying the darkness. He was glad his Martian was in the middle of nowhere, otherwise he would have gotten more than a few compliments. He walked through the forest, getting a little bit of nostalgia seeing the area he was in. He and his brother would always venture into the woods and having little adventures. There was a scream. Nightmare sighed. People think this is a great place to get rid of someone, when in reality it just lures Nightmare, and he kills them all. Okay guys, I've got to go. Be back. I'm back guys, just got my parents' evening report. My mum missed my art teachers, which is fine. I already know what most likely they're going to say. Maths and English, and science, all of them are good. Because, well, I don't do anything except do work and draw during classes. Then you've got my music teacher, which apparently my mum ran into them, so talked about how I don't like noise. Now I'm most likely going to get sound cancelling headphones. That's going to be fun. Okay, let's continue. There was a scream. I'm just going to reread this bit, okay? There was a scream. Nightmare sighed. People always think this is a great place to get rid of someone, when really it just lures Nightmare and he kills them all. He fell into the shadow and appears where the negative was, but he was shocked at what he saw. There were two cars, one was a van, one was a human, one was holding a struggling skeleton. He had half of his skull missing and was bleeding from it. Other humans talking to two others that were there by the van. They had lab coats on. He then saw a familiar crest and he growled. Nightmare came out of the shadows but made his face unrecognizable, making himself bigger. If you're confused, it's just like what with Underverse when Nightmare escaped with Clara. Everyone froze. Two humans took out their guns and fired, screaming in fear, yelling, "Monster! Are you sure I'm the monster?" Nightmare asked, his voice getting darker and deeper and scarier. Two tentacles easily killed the two humans that fired the guns. One dropped and the skeleton ran, but he didn't get far. Nightmare's tentacles wrapped around him and squeezed him to death, giving him a nice pop when he was done. The other human was in a lab coat, was frozen in shock. He shakily took out a gun and fired, but the bullet didn't even hurt him as it evaporated once it touched him. That doesn't work on me. And from behind, a tentacle shot him through him. He coughed out blood, and Nightmare removed his tentacles, and the human dropped to the floor. They were a whimper, and Nightmare lost their scary look. He kneeled down and picked up the skeleton. Please don't hurt me. I'm sorry, he said. I'm not going to kill you. I saved you. That would be a waste. The skeleton opened his eyes and saw the slaughtered humans and all the blood. He then coughed out blood and held where his stomach would be, and it growled. "I'm hungry," he whispered. Nightmare took note of that he was lighter than what his skeleton should be. He pulled it, hasn't eaten in a long time. His bones are thin. I don't know how that works, but you know what? Let's go with it. I have food, don't worry, I will give you some. Nightmare then teleported them to the mansion and put the skeleton down on the counter and prepared him a sandwich. Prepared a sandwich for him. Sorry. He yelped when something bit into his tentacle. He turned and found the skeleton had bitten the tentacle. He was still trying to eat it. Nightmare took him off it. "That's not for you to eat," he said, and gave him the sandwich to him. He ate it so fast Nightmare was surprised he didn't choke. "Okay, let's get you cleaned up and to bed." "But I'm still hungry," he said. "You can get more tomorrow morning," he nodded. After getting a quick bath, Nightmare put him in a spare bedroom. They could change it more tomorrow. When Nightmare went to leave, the skeleton didn't let go of him. He was half asleep. "Don't go," he mumbled. Nightmare rolled his eyes but sat on the bed, and the kid tugged him. "This is my life now," Nightmare sighed. "So cute. I was originally going to have Ari be the one, but it made more sense for horror." Alright, done. Alright, bye guys. Bye.